Hi, everyone. Welcome to Free Write Friday. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jessica Lynn Johnson. I am the founder and CEO of Soaring Solo Studios. And Soaring Solo is a company that's dedicated to coaching, developing, directing, and producing solo shows all over the globe. And I work alongside Heather Dowling, who is also an award-winning solo theater director and coach. And we just get to work with people everywhere on bringing their stories to life on stage. So that is what we do. A little bit of background about me. I am also a solo artist. I toured for over 13 years with my first two solo shows. I sit on the advisory board with the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival. As a director, I have directed over 175 solo shows. As a producer, I've worked with hundreds of clients. I write a blog every month for the NoHo Arts website called Soaring Solo. So that has a bunch of free content about being a solo artist and what that life looks like. So you can look that up on the NoHo Arts website. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. I would love to hear from you in the chat. Please feel free to say hello. Let me know where you're at in your solo theater journey and where you're tuning in from. And if you're watching this back on YouTube later, you can put it in the chat or in the comments. So yeah, please get acquainted. We're all about community with Soaring Solo. And the mission for Free Write Friday is really just to create a space that usually takes about 15 to 20 minutes to get some writing done, to have some support and accountability, and a little bit of framework for your writing as well. We don't share the work in Free Write Friday. That's more reserved for my Saturday morning free classes or my coaching sessions and things like that. But it does just give you an opportunity to get some writing done. Okay, so today's talking point, we are in the midst of spring. Today is Good Friday. It's also Jewish Passover. Sunday is Easter. So we're really in this kind of energy and theme of death, resurrection, new life, rebirth. Those are kind of the themes swirling around right now. So with that in mind, I want you to think somewhat metaphorically of what have you what within you has died or feels dead right now that you would like to give new life to, that you would like to resurrect? Um, so, for example, maybe it's in a romantic relationship or a friendship or family relationship where the connection just feels really buried, really dead, and you would like to bring new life to it. Maybe your creativity is feeling fairly numb or buried, and you would like to bring new life to that. It might be your own sense of creativity and sensuality, adventure, purpose, maybe work that you're doing that used to give you purpose is now feeling kind of mundane and mechanical or robotic. So just taking a moment to think about what it is within you that feels dormant and needs to be resurrected and given new life. And so I'm going to, well, actually, let me continue on with that. I'd like you to consider a fantasy of if you were to bring that part to life, if you were to water it and let it grow and let it bloom again, what could that look like? Maybe what would that process of nurturing and nourishing it back to life look like? And what would it look like as it is fully manifested, as it is in full bloom, as it has life again, a new breath? What would that look like? And I'm going to set my timer for 8 minutes. And I just want you to write about whatever came up for you, whatever feels dead, the path back to nurturing it and nourishing it, and what could that life look like if it were in full bloom, if it were healthy and living and thriving again. So I'm setting the timer now. You can go ahead and just write whatever came up for you, and I'll let you know when your time is up. Thanks, everyone. About 2.5 minutes left. Okay, and that's our time. So go ahead and wrap up your writing. All right, so just to give you some examples from the Soaring Solo community that had the spirit of this death to rebirth, death to resurrection type of theme. In Susan Edsall's show, Buen Camino, we meet her at the beginning of the show as um, a writer who's just really not inspired, not really living her purpose. And then, she goes on this 540-mile walk to reignite and come to life with her purpose. So that's an example. Or Cyrus Daboo in There's Something Seriously Wrong with Cyrus. Um, we watch him go from being very rejected and therefore numb and dead to his authentic self until it became too painful to live inauthentically. And so he started revealing who he truly was. And in that, he found his purpose, and that he found his authentic expression and came back to life as his true self, the true self he knew he was when he was a little boy that got buried. Or Diana Varco in the show Shattered, after a sexual trauma that she went through. Many parts of herself became dead and buried, and the journey of the show is her coming back to life with her own sensuality, sexuality, her safety, and those sorts of things. So the bigger takeaway, I would say, when you think of this in terms of a solo show, is that we really want to make sure that our protagonist has a very strong character arc, that it is inspiring. And so, to me, what could be more inspiring than going from a place of dead, numb, buried to a place of fully alive, fully manifested, thriving, living our purpose. So I would give this some more thought and see what it brought up for you today and how you might continue to write on this theme. There might be parts of yourself that a long time ago were dead that now are alive for you already. And so you're kind of on the other side of that journey. And again, there might be things right now that are pretty dormant and need to be given new life. So I hope that gave you some good things to chew on and to consider. If you look in the chat, and I'm sorry, there's several typos, but if you look in the chat, you'll see I put the different announcements that are happening in the Soaring Solo community, and I'll read these off as well for anybody who's going to be watching this on YouTube. But my next free class, my 90-minute Saturday class, The Art of Creating the One-Person Play, is happening on Saturday, May 24th at 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central, and 1 p.m. Eastern. Again, it's free. It's 90 minutes. You can just go to my website, soaringSoloStudios.com, and sign up there the way that you did for FREEWrite Friday today under free stuff. And if you're ever curious about working with Heather or myself in a more professional capacity, no pressure with that, but you're welcome to reach out to soaringsoloartist@gmail.com or filling out a contact form on my website, and we can set up an initial consultation, or I can tell you more about our small group offerings, special events that we do, intensives, things like that. That is always available. And then Heather and I also produce Revealed, and Revealed is an online reading. It's a series of online readings of work in progress. So different solo shows that aren't quite ready for the stage and want to hear the words out loud in front of a virtual audience to see what is working and not working. That's something we've been producing for years now. It's ongoing. We coordinate with your schedule and ours to find a good day that works for everybody. And then you just read your script and you get feedback from the virtual audience and see what blind spots there might be, what's working really well, all those sorts of things before you put it to memory and put it on stage and go through all of that. You want to make sure you have a solid script. So feel free to email me for more information about Revealed. And let's see, if you enjoyed today and want to come back, the next FREEWrite Friday is on May 2nd at 1 p.m. Pacific, 3 Central, 4 Eastern. Just sign up the same way you did today. And all of my FREEWrite Fridays are on my YouTube channel. So if you look up Soaring Solo Studios on YouTube, you'll find hundreds of videos of all sorts, but all of the FREEWrite Fridays are there too. What else can I tell you? So I'm a huge advocate of the festival circuit. Right now, the Soaring Solo community is doing the United Solo Festival in New York City. That's the largest solo theater festival in the world. But we are gearing up for the Hollywood Fringe Festival in the month of June. So we're getting ready for that. The Binge Fringe Festival over at the Santa Monica Playhouse is taking submissions right now. So if you're interested in learning more about the Binge Fringe Festival at the Santa Monica Playhouse, go to their website and check it out. There's also the Orlando Fringe, LA Women's Theater Festival that I mentioned earlier. And in the fall, Heather and I will be co-producing the Soaring Solo Stars series that we do every year. So you can also reach out about that if you'd be interested in doing your show in Los Angeles as part of the Stars series. And as I mentioned before, I have a blog for the NoHo Arts website called Soaring Solo. I put the link to that in the chat. And the last bit of announcements, Heather is going to be leading a character gym. This is in person in LA. So if you're in LA, this is going to be happening on 2 different dates. Let me just check really quick what those dates are. I know it is a Monday evening. Yeah, Monday, April 28th at 7 p.m. Pacific, as well as Saturday, May 3rd at 10 a.m. You don't have to do both, but you can. And this is just an opportunity to work with Heather on the Soaring Solo technique of being up in your body as a character, being fully inhabited by a character, vocally, physically, all of those things, and getting some coaching on the interesting and unique technique of solo theater. So if you're in the LA area and you'd like to join us for that, check out the link I put in the chat. I think that is everything. So I'm going to hop off, but I'll leave the chat up for a little bit in case you're still jotting things down. Thank you all so very much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.